Bob, when we look back at Saturday, the big story that came out of the game was Chad Knopf and how he moved to second. You jokingly mentioned passing Steve Verbett's son, Matt, who had a great career here in the early part of last decade. But, I think that the way he's grown this season, I mean, he put some balls in there that were just perfect throws. How much has he progressed? And now going into the heart of the Ivy season, you're going to have to count on him for some big games.
Yeah, it's amazing that, we see him in practice. And Tuesday, I've never seen some throws that, he just, every day, he's just confident and doing so many good things. And we expect every ball not only to be caught, but to be perfect. He expects it to be that way. And it's like this whole, what's going on if the ball's just a little off? And more than that, it's how he's taken such a great leadership role. I really think that he's grown as a person, that way. And it's just fun to watch guys continue to improve and progress and, knowing that, you want to attain perfection. It's not possible, but he's just pushing himself to be that type of player.
I know you like it when the offensive line doesn't get a lot of attention, and they really haven't. They've protected well. They haven't been called for many penalties. But, let's look at the group here after 4 weeks. You had a lot of returning players, and obviously that helps chemistry. But have you seen growth from kind of week 1 to week 4? And where is this group right now?
Yeah, no, I really think, we had a couple of those guys were banged up a little bit in the summer/training camp. And, really they started to gel before San Diego. And we faced 4 really good defensive lines. San Diego had an All-American. Lafayette hasn't given up points since we played them. Columbia obviously has a tremendous defensive front, and Georgetown, the strength of their team was their front. Now we're going to see the best front we've seen all year, maybe as good a front as I've seen since I've been here at Princeton, and they're going to be challenged that way. But I like how our guys are coming together, and they know how important to play against this defensive front, this defensive front 7, and the way Brown plays, they're going to have their hands full, and we're going to have to execute and play really well.
Another Rookie of the Week honor for C.J. Wall. We saw, I think, 5 tackles from DeLon Stallworth. You have to be pleased with the growth of these young defensive backs. Another game, for Trevor Forbes starting at that nickel spot. Again, they're going to take their hits during their freshman season, but I think it's been good progress, and they look more confident.
Yeah, and the confidence thing, practice was, they made some plays that were really extraordinary, this week, and really happy with how they are coming along. Coach Clussador is doing a great job with them. And, again, we face some terrific receivers, and you got to have a short memory as a DB. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as we're playing the right alignments, the right assignments, our focus, our eyes, and we're doing those things right, we're going to come up with some of those plays where a quarterback makes a mistake like we did Saturday.
Saturday, you head to Providence to face a Brown team that I think has historically been one of the toughest teams to beat at home. 2-2 this season, not surprisingly, both wins at Brown Stadium, a place Princeton has lost 6 of the last 7. And, you mentioned a couple minutes ago, you faced some high-level defensive linemen. You're going to see another one this weekend in Richard Jarvis, first-team All-Ivy last year, already 5 sacks this season. How much of a disruptive force is he? And how much can one player like that kind of alter your entire offense?
Yeah, well, he, not only does he have 5 sacks and 7.5 tackles for loss, it is the disruption that he's causing. And you're in this predicament that if you want to do things to take away him, the rest of those guys are all league type players. They're not chopped liver. They're terrific guys up front. So if you leave him singled up, he's one of the best in the country. If you do things to try to take him away, you're isolating these other tremendous players. This is, their defense is the real deal, and those guys up front play extremely well.
Physicality is always, a trademark of a Brown football team. Offensively, They seem like they've been pretty balanced, and again, it's going to be. It looks like, they always have a couple of trick plays, misdirections, play action. How important is just simple, know your assignment, know your role, and don't get caught looking around, because that's where Brown can really catch you.
Yeah, I mean, they have the same recipe Columbia has. Seniors on the D-line, veteran guys, seniors in defensive back, 4 seniors starting on their offensive line, primarily a senior playing quarterback, with these athletic guys around them that are really playing well. And they've had a couple different freshmen have been Rookie of the Week skill guys. Obviously, they've had some different running backs play, and they've all run the ball very, very productively, very well. Athletically, they can go the distance. I mean, they have some big players. They execute a very sophisticated pass game that puts a lot of stress on the defense. And up front, it's senior, junior. That's a recipe for being good in this league, and that's why year in, year out, they are a physical team, a tough team, and we've obviously had our struggles up there, but it's not like the games at home have been easy.
Right.
You leave the Brown game and you've been in this physical. It is probably the most sore our guys are after that game. Any game during the course of the year, it's getting on a bus or getting back in the locker room after you play them, just because that's who they are. And as we build our program, we're trying to become that type of program where we're a physical team.